Dr. Tessa Samuelson, thank you so much for having us today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be helpful.
Yeah, it's really cool to be here because I have a 2.5-year-old, so I'm very interested in understanding how private school works.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. And you've got a lot of big decisions coming up.
Exactly.
So this is really important. And it's actually a very good conversation to have because private school stands for so much more. There's great schools all over, especially our town in San Clemente. There's lots of options, but our school's different for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
We have great education. We are pushing our kids to excel. We're standard-based. We have credentialed, high-achieving teachers. But I think the most important part in terms of who we are and what we stand for as a school is that we do all great things that schools do, but we love the Lord. And we intentionally teach that to your kids. So everything that we do, whether it be math or science or social studies, is through a biblical perspective. How did God do it? How does God want us to learn it? We get to pray with your kid. We get to walk with them. We get to do life with them in the way that God is asking us to do life. And that makes us super special in terms of the schools that are out there.
Now, is that a big part of your guys' mission as a school then, would you say?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So our key verse comes from Matthew 5, which is your city on a hill. Let your light shine. Like that's really what we want to teach our kids to do, is to go out in the world and be articulate and knowledgeable and wise in terms of telling others who Jesus Christ is.
That's
because
awesome.
they know, because they learned it here, and of course the partnership with families.
Very cool. So I went to public school growing up, and I'm really interested in knowing, like, now that I have a principal of a private school sitting in front of me, like, what would you say the main differences are?
Well, I am right along with you. I went to public school my whole life. I actually started my career in public school as an administrator in public school and moved to private. But I think the biggest part of it is that you get to do, and I often tell people this, my two passions are education and Jesus. Here every day, I get to do and live both. And I think that's really, really important. In terms of the mandates and the statewide federal things that come our direction, we get a lot of choice in that. And that really puts us aside because we partner with parents. We have family values. We want to really pour into what they believe and teach their child based on what God has asked them to do in raising them in the Lord.
Awesome.
We get choice in that, which is a big deal.
Yeah, so you guys, as parents and as the staff here, you get much more freedom of choices. And I would imagine, too, as like a parent, if I was thinking about, okay, San Clemente Christian and a school to go to, I'm looking really closely at that, at my options of like, how is this, what's the curriculum going to be like? Who are the people that are teaching my kids? It's so much different. Like there's options. Where I feel like as public school, and it's not a knock, but it's more rigid. You don't have those options. Is that
we
accurate?
know our kids. It's absolutely accurate. And so we would know your child, what they like, what they had for breakfast, when grandma's coming to visit, and we can use all of that to interact in their world and teach them all of the standards, everything they need to know, from math facts to scientific tables, all of that. They're going to get that. But we really know who they are, and so we're able to challenge them and push them along the lines while keeping them safe at the same time. It's not a big overarching curriculum that meets all students, and then it may or may not fit your child. We're specific to your child.
Nice.
Which is cool.
That is cool. So then here at San Clemente Christian, what are the grades? What age ranges?
Absolutely. So we start with TK. If your child's 4, a little bit longer to go, but when they turn
TK
4,
is
4 years old.
4 years old.
Yes. And then we go up through 8th grade.
Okay.
So 4 to 14.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a wide range.
It is a wide range. We have a wide range of expertise and a wide range of teachers with lots of experience, all the way up to our science math teachers at the 8th grade that are teaching those advanced classes, to our early childhood and development teachers that are working with our 4 and 5 and 6-year-olds.
Nice. And then for those watching, where are you guys located?
We are right in the heart of San Clemente. We're tucked in, safe, sweet little area, little playground, lots of classrooms, lots of room inside of our building, but you would not notice this if you were looking for us. So you have to kind of curve around to find us.
Yeah, I noticed that because it's, when you think of a school, you kind of think of it like as the center of town. It's super like out in the open. But this is very unique. It's up in the business park and the campus, now that I'm here and you guys have kind of toured me around, it's really cool.
Right. And one thing that to add to that is extremely safe. This is you wouldn't expect to run into a school back here.
Right.
So we know our neighbors. They know the comings and goings of our people. We have a security guard. All of those things really kind of tuck us away in this sweet little safe niche.
Yeah. And I would say just, in 2023 today, schooling and things have changed so much in the landscape.
Right.
And I know that safety for students is like paramount,
right,
more than ever.
Right.
And I think you're right. You know, this kind of tucked away. It's its own little private enclave for a
right.
school.
It is. It's a sweet little gym, and you got to look to find us, which we love.
That's awesome. So getting back to like curriculum and stuff, and for your private school, like what resources, like getting kind of into the details, would you say that kind of separate you as a school, or that students have access to where they otherwise might not?
Right. Well, this is a great question, because we have access to a lot of resources, the same as public schools all around.
Mm-hmm.
So we are standard-based. We teach the standards, of course, and I shared with a biblical perspective, but we really, our teachers teach with foundational approaches.
Okay.
But they expect mastery. So from one grade to the next grade, we're really pushing students to master their concepts in core subject areas before moving on to the next grade level, which allows us to know your child and meet them right where they're at. And we don't want to push them too fast, but we want to continually keep them challenged.
Yeah.
So we have all the great resources. We have amazing...
Sounds like much more hands-on.
Yes, definitely hands-on, because we have that opportunity. We're small, we're boutique, so our class sizes are under 20, most of them about 15 students in a class. Our teachers are able to work small groups, individual, hands-on projects, all of that.
So San Clemente Christian's a more hands-on approach. What the size of the school would you say? Is it like small, medium, large relative to other schools, or what would a parent...
Yeah, absolutely. We are a small boutique school. We intentionally keep it that way, so we get to know our kids.
Nice.
So that allows us small groups, individual work, a lot of hands-on learning. We have an amazing STEAM lab. Kids are building and creating all the time, but it really creates opportunity for great conversations in the classroom and really guiding students individually.
That's cool. So one thing I've always been curious about, it might seem like a simple question, like, when does private school start and get out?
Right. No, good question. We actually are very traditional in that. From what I believe, many, many years ago, we start after Labor Day.
Okay.
So we get a little bit more summertime, and we end the first week in June.
Nice.
So.
I remember when I was in school, it was always like 8 to 2:30, and it seemed like the summers got shorter and shorter and shorter every year.
Yes, it does. I mean, our schedule is pretty traditional. We come to school, it starts at 8:30. We dismiss at 3. But that late start, a lot of our families appreciate.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
It makes it easier, and it kind of lends itself to one other thing, that private school, you just have more options.
More options. Yes, and any family that we bring in and we interview and we meet and we talk about them or talk with them about their children, we get to know what they need. And we have students that get picked up early because they have either a lesson, or we have some pro sports kiddos that are pushing through and they have practices into the wee hours of the morning sometimes. And so we are able to adapt and be flexible in some of our timing for that reason.
That's cool. Now you said something, and that it's like another question that's been on my mind. Like, how does one apply to have a student go here? What is that?
Absolutely.
How does that work?
Yes. There's an inquiry on our webpage that you can fill out a form there, and then our administrative team gets in touch with you, and you'll go through the admissions process, which what that looks like ideally is you'll come in, take a tour, get to know us, our school. We'll be able to teach you and tell you a little bit about who we are and our history.
Do you have to meet any certain benchmarks as a student to get that tour?
No, absolutely not. You can come in, learn about who we are and our school pretty easily.
Nice.
Then we sit down with you in a family interview, and we just make sure that we align in our values and our systems, and we're the school that you would want as a family, and you're the family that we would think that would be a best fit and work with our school. And so we get to meet each other. We also offer shadow days, so if you want to bring your student in and have them just experience a day as a San Clemente Christian School night, then you can come in and do that as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then the selection process, is it pretty competitive, or is it like when I was applying for colleges?
Right.
You're like, I hope I get in.
Get it. Yeah. Well, it's all based on numbers and enrollment. So we definitely, like I said, we intentionally keep our classes small. So sometimes classes will fill up, but we still meet. We still talk to you. We still tell you a little bit about our school. Often, if that's an issue, then we'll go on the waiting list. But a lot of times, especially in the summer, those will open up. We'll be able to call you in. So, and we do academic screening and testing when you get in here too, as well with your students. So we know exactly where they're ready to learn from.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I was a parent, or if there's a parent out there that's watching this and they want to do a little bit more research, like what are some of the resources that you have out there, or a website, or how can they kind of do some homework on San Clemente Christian.
Yes, absolutely. I would lead you definitely to our webpage,
Okay.
sanclementechristianschool.com.
Nice.
It's going to have everything from testimonies to curriculum outlines to our calendars, schedules, everything you would need to know. And of course, feel free to stop by.
Cool. So I'm excited too today because we're gonna go take everyone around campus and look at some of the awesome stuff that you guys have. You want to highlight a couple things that we'll be looking at that are extra exciting or happening here right now?
Absolutely. Well, we're finishing up up the school year, so you're going to see excitement in general in our classrooms. But there's a lot of projects going on as well. I know our 4th grade and our 5th graders are working on some of their state and California projects, so those are on display.
Oh, cool.
We have a pretty amazing STEAM lab with a construction zone atmosphere where we're getting kids to build. We want to tap into those engineering processes.
Yeah.
Also, our chapel is a really important place for us because it is a meeting place for students, staff, and families. But every Wednesday we get to worship together, and we invite community and family to be a part of that as well. So I'm sure you'll be able to see that on your tour.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to go see it. Thank you for the time. You put together a really nice presentation, and I feel like what separates this school and helped me too to know more about private school in general. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Let's go take a look.
All right.
I'm here with Mrs. Noelle Sands now. She used to be a teacher here at San Clemente Christian and has worked her way into administration. So thank you two for having us.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here.
Yeah. So what's your official title now?
I am the elementary assistant principal, so I work with students and get to work with teachers as well. So
awesome. And then you're going to be giving us a little glimpse into like the tour that you give potential students and parents, right?
Right. Every time you're inquiring about our school, we love to get you in for a tour and a personal interview. So you come on campus, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of what that looks like today.
Awesome. Well, let's get buzzed in and go check out the school. Super exciting.
This is our front office with Miss Sherry at the front desk. Here, our administrative wing. This is my office, and our principal, Dr. Samuelson, and our head of schools, Mickey Magnuson. So I'll take you back to where all the exciting things. Here on our campus, our school is arranged so that our primary grades are downstairs. So we have TK through 2nd downstairs and 3rd through middle school upstairs, with the exception of our middle school science lab. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what that looks like.
Noel, I noticed that there's pictures of all. Are these the students?
These are our students, and we like to just shine on the walls what their passions and dreams and things that they want to be when they grow up. So all of our students are featured. They love walking by and just seeing their own face on the wall. Yeah,
super cool
special
prints.
I would love to show you our kindergarten classroom. Come on in. Take you out to our hub of our school, our lunchroom, our playground, and recess, so come on out. Right here we have our TK and kinder garage, so the students get a creative space to be able to build and play with their friends. This is our blacktop. The students love to play handball, baseball. We got some handball courts. They've always got a soccer game going on, and our PE happens out here. I'll show you our grass area. Back here we have a nice area for the kids to play. We have an awesome rock wall that the students love to climb. A tube slide, swing set, and jungle gym. Something that we offer our students is our TK through 2nd graders have one-to-one iPads, and our 3rd through 8th graders have one-to-one Chromebooks. These devices are heavily monitored and used for academic purposes, but they really enrich our learning in the classrooms. The kids are doing. This is Mrs. Halls, our kindergarten teacher. No problem. They really enrich our learning, and the kids are creating these amazing learning portfolios and really getting to. Go ahead, sweetie. And really getting to show off their presentation skills and create a lot of 21st century learning skills. Here at San Clemente Christian School, we are the Knights, and a Knight to us is a student that seeks Christ, commits to excellence, honors others, and serves others. So you're seeing us in action right now. This is our chapel. Every Wednesday we have chapel, and right now we have a group of students preparing for that. Come on in. We really like to create a special place for our middle school students, and that's our middle school lounge. Each student has a locker. They rotate to about 6 different periods a day with different teachers, and this is their central hub, so come on and take a look. I'm going to show you a 3rd grade classroom that's a very creative space for students. Many of our classrooms offer flexible seating for our students, and that looks different in different grade levels. In kindergarten, we have wiggly chairs and bouncy seats for them to be able to just be successful at the desk in the way that they need. Some of our classrooms have standing tables. Our teachers have small tables to work with students in small groups and individually, and lots of couches for students to get just an area that works for them to get their work done. Sneak peek of our school, and I would love to have you come in and show more of who we are and what we're doing here on campus. So feel free to call and schedule a tour and interview anytime. I'm going to pass you on to our head of schools, Dr. Magnuson, to find out more.
Well, I can definitely say that I've learned a ton about San Clemente Christian today. We've got to meet with the principal, Dr. Samuelson. We got to meet with Noelle Sands. And now we're going to wrap up today here with Dr. Magnuson. Give us your title. Tell us what you do.
The official title is head of schools, but I could be janitor, I could be nurse, I could be run to the bank and deposit a check.
Utility player.
Utilities player, you name it. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Very impressive school that you guys have. I just wanted to say that, and
Thank you.
It's really cool to see, and it's very special. Do you have anything that is really kind of like near and dear to your heart that you would want to share with prospective parents about the school?
Yeah, I think we've been around for 40 years, and
Wow.
so the heart of the school will always remain the same, and that is we want our kids to know the Lord, and we want that to be in a relational way. We do that in the classrooms, we do that through our relationships. That part will always remain, and us being a boutique school will always remain. I think where it's the light literally has shined on, which is our school verse, is the world we live in today.
Yeah.
So I think when the seeds were planted 40 years ago, I don't know if the founders ever imagined the world we'd be living in today, but more than ever I feel like our school is a light and needs to continue to shine. It's a dark and crazy world. There's a lot of confusion. I come from a public school background. I taught with some of the best teachers I've ever taught with were in public school. But unfortunately, we are in a world now where there's a lot of darkness, a lot of confusion. And so here, it's a safe place. It's a place where kids get to be kids. That's important. Not only safety as far as social emotional, because when you have kids that feel safe in the classroom, they're thriving, but also safety on campus. We have an armed guard now here on campus, and we are tucked away in the business park. So we're in a place where I feel where our kids can thrive and be a light, which is important, but most of all where they know truth and they can be non-negotiable about that, and that's very important to us. Our kids are going to learn, we know that. They're going to leave here, they're going to know their math facts, they're going to thrive, but their relationship with God and the foundations that they build here is what's going to get them through their life.
That's awesome. Well said. And for parents watching, how can they get involved? Or if you have a student here, how do parents get involved? Is there a PTA or a...
Yes, we have a PTF, and that's actually my heartbeat for the school. The school has so many great strengths. Our Dr. Samuelson is incredible with academics and the rigor, and Mrs. Sands and our other assistant principal, they do such a great job in the different areas. My favorite part is the parent relationship in our community. So we have a PTF, we meet monthly, and really it's a bridge. That PTF is a bridge of the parents to the school. So they help us with events. We just put a great 40-year party together, all hosted and put together by parents. And we love parents here on campus. That's another thing, is if you are a parent and you are not here at least once a month, if not more, we don't know where you are. So we love to have our parents here on campus. We just wrapped up a father-daughter dance. We have mother-son laser tag and father-daughter bowling and father-son paintball. Lots of events for our families because, like we say, we don't just take in the student, we take in the family, and that's important. Grandparents, we have a grandparents chapel.
Really?
Grandparents are on the playground, grandparents are in the classroom, grandparents serve on our board. We really are a family and community-minded school. We've always been. So that's where our strength lies in, is our community.
Well, it was amazing to see the school today and to learn about this. So great job.
Thank you.
Amazing campus, amazing curriculum. The students are all beaming.
Yeah.
And so I could see that just being here today. So
That
thank you.
means a lot. Thank you for saying it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you.